Y'all have been leaving comments that are becoming too frequent to ignore, where y'all are accusing me of being compromised, of being biased, and being terrified and scared to speak on this Akademiks TV situation. I'm so confused because when have y'all ever known me for being scary? When have y'all ever known me of being compromised or biased or ducking a conversation? Bro, I'm Mr. Algorithm, bro. I'm putting out whatever is hitting that algorithm. I honestly thought, right hand to God, I honestly thought y'all wouldn't care about this story. We covered it like 3 or 4 to 5 different times. I thought y'all considered this like old news by now. I thought I'll be beating a dead horse if I covered this new iteration, but I received enough comments about it to where you guys want me to talk about it, so I'm here to talk about it. But it's never gonna be compromised, bro. I'm the guy that y'all called a F ninja, a bad person, terrible human being, all type of stuff because I said in one of my videos, I tell all my homies, hey, bro, if I gotta choose between my chat and you, I'm choosing my chat. If I gotta choose between my audience and you, I'm choosing my audience, right? If me talking about you on my YouTube channel is gonna break up our relationship, then we not friends because I'm gonna speak about you. Y'all call me a terrible human being. Y'all said, Flocko, what's wrong with you? Why would you put your audience before your friend? So now y'all are telling me, hey, Flocko, you compromised, you biased, you scary, you's an F-boy for not speaking on one of your homies. It's damn if you do, damn if you don't. I'm a terrible human being if I put my audience before my friends. And I'm also a terrible human being if I don't speak about every single detail of one of my homies' situation. This miscellaneous Twitter page that had about 10 followers a week ago has somehow become the plug for all things Grand Wizard in terms of this investigation. This miscellaneous Twitter page that had no identity, no followers about a week ago is now getting the images from the private investigators before anybody is getting it. They're getting information about what's going on with the private investigators outside of Grand's house. They know when the private investigators are outside of Grand's house. They know every update that takes place outside of Grand's house. Now, one can only imagine that the person running this account obviously has ties to the private investigators and the people who are in charge of this Grand Wizard Chat Ninja investigation. Now, this is not a criminal investigation, right? These are private investigators who I guess are working on a lawsuit because Grand had pissed off, Rock Nation or TDE. Well, TDE were the first people to begin their investigation. They were the first ones to hire private investigators. And I guess Rock Nation and other people followed suit. But this Twitter page, again, this is this random page with no identity whatsoever, has strangely become the plug to all things Grand Wizard when it comes to this investigation, because they're the ones getting the images first and they're the ones posting it. So they posted this, and this has been their biggest post to date. And their post stated, George Nguyen, aka Grand Wizard Chat Ninja. Now, them doing this, right? Like them not tweeting out the word shows me, okay, they're not black, they're white. So the man behind Akademiks TV is photographed in Australia being served one of multiple lawsuits he's facing, along with possible criminal charges tied to multinational crackdown on crypto-fueled gambling and money laundering. Whenever you hear possible criminal charges, like I roll my eyes. And the reason why I roll my eyes severely, you can be privy to, let's say, a civil lawsuit, right? If Jay-Z and Rock Nation, if TDE, right, and Day Free, if they're sending out private investigators to stalk and follow Grand Wizard because they got a lawsuit they're about to serve them, that's one thing. Y'all aren't privy to criminal investigations, right? So this possible criminal charge, that's them just tying it in, right? That's them trying to juice it up. Because whatever you guys are suing him civilly for are not criminal charges. Y'all don't have the jurisdiction nor the power as Americans to file charges against Grand Wizard. What did he do? Now, what they're saying is, oh, well, his crypto activity from stake and these sweepstakes casinos, well, it's illegal. And y'all have no idea, right? So essentially, anybody who stake, right? Because again, like Grand Wizard is, I guess he has a deal with stake or he's working with stake. I'm not sure, but that's what they are alleging, right? Like, I'm not sure, but I do know like Grand Wizard, does like clipping. He has like a clipping company and he works with Kick, I believe, right? So if Kick is paying people through through crypto, if Stake is paying people through crypto, then anybody they've ever paid in crypto, are they doing something inherently illegal? Obviously not, right? Like clearly not, right? So these people have no idea, no clue about no criminal charges coming. They're stalking him with private investigators and they're filing civil suits. So them adding in the possible criminal charges is that's them trying to juice it up, right? That's fear mongering, right? They're hiring professional stalkers to take pictures of this dude to get him served, and then they're posting it and hinting towards possible criminal charges. Cut it out, okay? So the images that we've seen here is of Grand Wizard like walking his dogs. Grand refused to accept the paper, so they threw it on the ground, which is the lawsuit. And the dog is trying to get to the paper. Grand is pulling the dog away. But I guess from like their perspective or how the internet is viewing it, just him trying to pull the dog away from the paperwork gave like this aura or this feeling of him being spooked, so they're running with it. Grant is like standing back, he's looking at them. I have not seen the lawsuit. I don't know why Grant is being sued. I don't know what they served him with. What I can tell you, all we've heard so far is Grant receives crypto from Stake and Kick for running this clipping company, and the clips, they run narratives through the clips. Well, that's not your business if he's receiving crypto. That's up to Australia to figure out if he's in compliance. But Stake and Kick pays a lot of influencers in crypto. They pay a lot of big names like Drake in crypto. So accepting crypto from Stake and Kick is now illegal. You're not going to jail. Even if it is illegal, it's not Rock Nation TDE's business. It's Australia. So you guys can't sue him for accepting crypto. That makes zero sense whatsoever. So even them adding in possible criminal charges makes no sense because it's not your business nor jurisdiction, right? If he gets paid in crypto or not. Now, they could be suing him for defamation, but Akademiks TV is owned by DJ Akademiks. Grand is, I guess, the person who runs the page, like the manager of the page, but Grand has interns who post to the page directly. He don't post to the page himself. So if you're suing Grand but not Akademiks, but Akademiks owns the page, Grand is the manager, and if you're saying, oh, okay, we can't sue Akademiks because Akademiks ain't making the post himself, so he's not defaming us per se, granted, but Grand not making a post either. Grant has intern, right? See, it doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Like, this entire thing doesn't make sense. Now, it'll probably make more sense once I read the actual lawsuit. I have not seen it yet. It's not privy to us at all, right? Because it hasn't been filed yet publicly. But Wayno did say that he was able to see the lawsuit, or he got a peek of it.
I need subs, likes, and hypes. All right, bet. So listen, a couple of days ago, I did an episode talking about Charlemagne and DJ Akademiks, two people that I have good relationships with. I felt like even at the odds that it could be figured out because it wasn't that deep. But Charlemagne has been saying publicly that there is some sort of larger thing brewing with all of this cryptocurrency shit, all of this, chat nigga, what you can say online, what you can't. I've actually seen the file. You know what I mean? I've seen the PDF. And yeah, it has a whole lot of information concerning what's going on online.
Let's dissect this. Wayno says he's seen the PDF, and the PDF involving the lawsuit, right, they plan on filing against Grand Wizard, it involves online activity, which would mean it involved his Twitter posts, his X posts, his IG posts. And they're saying, these posts, they believe Grand or Akademiks TV was being paid to disseminate this information. Well, that's what clipping is, right? Well, that's what clipping, yeah, people pay clip pages to post things that they have posted. Now, if they're talking about not clipping, but they're talking about, hey, Akademiks TV wrote this lie about me and they got paid to write this lie about me, then that's one thing, that's defamation, and Grant would have to deal with that. But we have yet to see that. Now, I've read a lot of Akademiks TV posts. I have not seen where straight up defamation will fall in line at. I think like they're very careful with kind of like added in allegedly. They're very careful. Like they carefully construct these posts to where I don't think you'll be able to get Grand on defamation based on how careful he is with writing these posts. Like even when he was going off on like Charlemagne the God, right? Like he wrote something like accused rapist. Right? Like he didn't say, Charlemagne the God, you are, no, he says Charlemagne the God accused rape, right? So like he's very careful and very calculated with how he writes these posts. But I'll really have to see something just outright, just outright like horrendous for me to treat this anything other than this is just powerful people with a lot of money going after somebody because they don't like how they're reported on. They don't like that these people are able to post about them and ruin their public reputation and their name, right? Jay-Z and Roc Nation don't like the fact that Grand don't like them. They don't appreciate the fact that Grand thinks they're snakes, that Grand thinks they're disingenuous. They don't like the fact that Grand is going off on them, right? That Grand is changing the perception of Roc Nation as a whole, right? Even Charlamagne the God, and he stated, yo, when Jay-Z did the freestyle, you seen this concerted like group of people. They were all posting the same headline, going off on Jay-Z and changing the narrative around Jay-Z. If Charlamagne the God is saying that, that means that's conversations being had that Jay-Z and Roc Nation believes that Grand and the people that Grand is in bed with, they're the ones responsible for Roc Nation being viewed as demons. I'm here to tell them, no, bro. No, people have this general perception of Jay-Z and Roc Nation because they do a lot of foul things and hide their hands, right? Like, for example, this thing with Target. This thing with Target is absolutely foul. It's disgusting, it's nasty. But they will do something foul and never address it, right? When they know they're absolutely wrong and cooked, they'll never address it, right? Like, for example, Jay-Z did the Targets thing. Jay-Z got accused by Van Lathan of calling up TMZ and asking TMZ to run a negative story on a Colin Kaepernick to kill Colin Kaepernick influence. So Jay-Z and the NFL partnership can flow seemingly. He don't address those accusations, but he drops a 7 to 14-minute documentary of him talking about, no, my hair and locks was real. No, my hair not fake. So you pick and choose which accusation you want to address. You don't address all the foul things like Target, like Jermaine Dupri, like backbiting Colin Kaepernick, like from stealing from art. You do not address stealing from artists, among other things, but you would address, hey, he's wearing a lace front wig, right? So no, it's things like that that contribute to why people don't like Roc Nation, not Grand. Now, again, I haven't spoken to Grand about this specifically, but I don't think Grand is too worried, right? Because Akademiks would write, just a reminder, we know how y'all OGs, the jig is up. No lawsuits gonna scare fans or stop people from reporting the truth or keeping it 100 about y'all. It's starting to make sense, LOL. Only one group of people doing this nonsense. Same play they try to do on Akademiks TV. They try to scare off independent journalists and fans who ain't down with their clown show. Now, what Akademiks is talking about when he says that, Desiree Perez like dropped this document in court where she's responding back to her daughter, like Damori, who's suing Desiree for doing a lot of scandalous and nasty things to her. We covered their lawsuit on this channel in length. But in the motion, like, they included like 30 to 40 like Nicki Minaj fan pages who they claim are disseminating negative information about Desiree Perez and Roc Nation on behalf of Damori, and they want the court to punish Damori because they're claiming Damori is who's feeding the information to the like Nicki Minaj stan pages. So they included like 30 to 40 fan accounts, like literal fan accounts in this lawsuit. These people are unhinged. They have lost their mind. They are not the good guys. And I don't see how y'all don't see this, bruh. Right? Like terrorizing, harassing 30 to 40 fan pages because they tweeted something about you that you don't like and you are a public figure. But people see this and they ignore it because like they hate Grand or they hate Akademiks or they hate Drake. How can y'all support, like how do you guys support Roc Nation like harassing fans, like random Twitter pages? It doesn't make sense whatsoever, right? So that's what Akademiks is talking about when he says, yo, they included fan pages, like they harassing fans, like they trying to scare fans into not speaking up. Like this is crazy. So Akademiks goes, they trying to sue the Barbs, Tory Lanez and Drake fans, LOL, and then they worried why Jay-Z approval rating at an all-time low. Jay-Z and his homies got lawsuits mentioned in fan pages. Nasty work. That's a fact. It's nasty work. Now, the reason why, like, I'm not somebody who's looking at this like, oh my God, Grand, you being so... Fam, I personally have been sued like what, a dozen times, right? A dozen times for my YouTube videos. And it's not what you think. I got sued like a dozen times before I hit like 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. These people claim, again, the same thing they are accusing Grant of doing. The exact same thing. They claiming Grant is this hitman on behalf of Drake. They told me I was a gang member, like I was a gang leader who was leading a gang on behalf of Umar Johnson. Bro, like what? Like what? Yo, they claim that I was this gang leader who was running this gang that was ran by Umar Johnson, and we were like the Umar Johnson's henchmen, and we were attacking, harassing people, and doing all type of nonsense, bro. Because I made YouTube videos. I got sued over a dozen. Yo, these lawsuits went nowhere at all. It got to a point where other YouTubers, right, who didn't like me, were beginning to file lawsuits once they discovered they could file a lawsuit on Pacer, do content about it for about a week, don't pay the filing fee, and the lawsuit just gets thrown out, dismissed, or just never like accepted. But they still get to file it on Pacer and do content on it. So once they realized that was a hustle and that was a play, they filed like 10 or 12 lawsuits. Man, all right, bro. I said, all right, cool, bro. Y'all got it. So as somebody who has gone through this, who have been sued by quote unquote YouTubers, I would actually have to see the lawsuit. I'll actually have to see who's behind the lawsuit, and I'll actually have to see some progress in this lawsuit for me to take it seriously, because I've been through it, right? And you'll have like idiotic YouTubers who will go back and see old lawsuits that got dismissed and cooked. They'll bring it online and say, Poetic Flocka was sued in 2020 or 2021. Yeah, why they don't ever tell y'all what happened to the lawsuit? Right? Yeah. And again, my name is Frederick Jala. They got so creative. Yo, they will sue me from fake names, not paying the filing fee, right? Making the craziest accusations they could make under a fake name, but they don't file the filing fee. So they will sue with the craziest accusations in the world, cover it for about a week, don't pay the filing fee, so it never like truly gets filed. Then all the accusations is out there. Then I have to respond back to the accusations, but it's under a fake name. So like, I don't know who exactly was suing me. Yo, it was a whole lot of nonsense. So I've dealt with nonsense like this. I wouldn't put it past these people to be filing fictitious lawsuits just to have a private investigator harass Grant. I'm telling you right now, bro, I would actually have to see the actual lawsuit before I truly give this any type of like attention, okay? But no, I'm not scared to cover this. I just didn't think y'all cared about it. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, then click on this video right here somewhere on my screen, somewhere here or here or here on my screen to find out. Umar Johnson outdid himself yesterday. He got white people pissed off at him. You don't want to miss exactly why they're pissed off at him. I'm going to see you guys in this Dr. Umar Johnson video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.